In a world where the Roman Empire survived, freedom might not exist the way you think. In our timeline, the Roman Empire didn't fall in a single day. It slowly collapsed under pressure. Economic crises, political corruption, civil wars, and constant invasions from groups like the Visigoths and Vandals. By 476 AD, the Western Roman Empire was gone. Europe fragmented into small kingdoms, and for centuries, progress slowed down. But what if Rome made one different decision? Instead of resisting change, it adapted. Emperors like Diocletian and Constantine the Great had already started reforms, dividing the empire for better control, strengthening the army, stabilizing the economy. In this alternate timeline, those reforms actually work. Rome doesn't collapse. It transforms. Barbarian tribes aren't enemies anymore. They become Roman citizens. And instead of falling apart, the empire becomes stronger than ever. New world order. If Rome survives, the Middle Ages as we know it never happens. Think about that. No feudal system. No isolated villages. No collapse of education and infrastructure. Instead, Roman cities keep growing. Trade routes stay active. Knowledge keeps flowing. The ideas of ancient Greece are never lost. They continue evolving. This changes everything. Because in our world, Europe had to rediscover knowledge during the Renaissance. But in this world, there is no rediscovery, only continuous progress. That means universities appear earlier, science develops faster, technology accelerates centuries ahead. The Renaissance doesn't happen in the 1400s. It might happen in the 500s. Humanity gets a 1,000-year head start. Superpower world. Now imagine the geopolitical impact. A never-falling Roman Empire becomes the ultimate superpower. Regions like Britannia, Gaul, Egypt remain fully under Roman control. Over time, expansion continues. Instead of separate nations like France or Spain, you get something very different. A unified imperial system. One legal code. One dominant language. Evolved from Latin, one centralized authority. Globalization doesn't begin in the modern age. It begins in ancient times and spreads under one empire. Even today, you might not identify as Turkish, French, or Italian. You might identify as Roman, the world where Rome never fell. It's the year 2026, but not the world you know. Because as you walk through a vast city of endless marble roads and towering structures that blend ancient design with advanced technology, you slowly realize that this world never experienced the fall of the Western Roman Empire. Above you, massive aqueducts still carry water just as they did thousands of years ago. Yet beneath them, a society powered by uninterrupted progress thrives a way that feels both impressive and unsettling, as if history itself was never allowed to pause, reset, or break. Everywhere you look, the symbol of the Roman Empire is still present, not as a relic of the past, but as a living authority that has shaped every generation without interruption, creating a world where humanity never lost knowledge, never fell into darkness, and never had to rebuild itself from ruins. At first, it feels like the perfect version of history, a world without collapse, without chaos, and without the suffering that once slowed human progress. But the longer you observe, the more you begin to notice that everything shares the same identity, the same system, and the same unchallenged power that has existed for centuries. Because in a world where Rome never fell, change was never forced, revolutions never truly happened, and new ideas were not born out of struggle but filtered, controlled, and shaped by a single authority that decided what progress was allowed to become. And in that quiet realization, as impressive as this world may seem, you begin to understand something far more unsettling. Maybe humanity did not become more advanced because it was free to grow, but because it was guided, limited, and shaped under a system that never gave it the chance to truly break away. And maybe, just maybe, the fall of the Roman Empire wasn't the end of something great, but the beginning of everything we now call freedom. When civilization falls, what rises? Think about your world. A world shaped by collapse, chaos, and constant change. A world where empires rise and fall, where new ideas replace old ones, where power is challenged. Because in our timeline, the Roman Empire didn't last forever. It broke, and from its ruins came something unpredictable. Different nations, different cultures, different systems, and most importantly, different ways of thinking. So the real question is not just, what if Rome never fell? But something deeper, something more important. Was humanity's greatest strength ever its stability, or was it always its ability to start over